Is what's called the...
Where exactly is this blockade?
The blockade is what's called the Glad Lake Road, and it is about midway through the Walbran within the special management zone, so-called, and it's before where the new logging road that the forest company is building that was the actual target of the protest.
I know that when the protests began, when the blockade went up, there were 11 people. That was last Thursday. How many people are out there now?
I believe there's, well, over the weekend there was about that, and right now I believe there's 7 people out there right now.
Do these people know that Timber West now has an injunction?
Well, the Timber West had an injunction since 1991, but last week the police decided not to enforce that injunction and recommended that the forest company get a new injunction. And we assumed that they would be able to get that injunction, and so I imagine that they're aware that that's probably the case.
Do you expect that these people are going to obey the injunction now?
I'm not entirely sure. The whole intention behind the peace camp that we've had up there is more of a policing action against the loggers and a witnessing of the forest destruction, the eco-forest destruction up there, than to do any sort of class-style arrest camp.
What do you mean a policing action against the loggers?
Well, we believe that the loggers and Timber West and the Toronto Dominion Bank, which owns TFL, which owns Timber West, is violating, and the government as well, is violating the international law and the Biodiversity Convention by going and systematically destroying the very sensitive ecosystem that makes up the Walbran.
What specifically are they doing wrong? They're allowed to log there, are they not?
Well, they are. In fact, they're required to log there by the government. But the area is a special management zone, and special management zones, there's about 60 around the province, were those areas that were in dispute after the core process. But according to the Sierra Club, special management zones are logged at 3 times the rate of general forestry areas. And it seems to be because the forest company wants to go in there and log and make logging roads before the special management zones are made into law.
So why not go after the provincial government? If they're responsible for this, why go after the loggers?
Well, we are. I guess it requires such things as blockades in order to bring the issue up. If you're not doing something, then nobody will listen. And so now that we've actually raised the issue, and raised the issue of TD Bank making money off logging old growth forest and all of the complicity issues regarding the government, the action is mostly going to be shifting to Vancouver and Victoria and protests down here.
I'm wondering about the timing of these protests, given the news, the continuing story that we're hearing about the downturn in the forest sector. Is there some concern that you're hitting people when they're already down?
Well, one of the reasons that the forest industry is the downturn right now is because the European lumber and food buyers are refusing to buy BC lumber and food principally because of the unsustainable forest practices that they have. And they're going into Walbran and the Blockade, and they're doing this limited clear cut, because like limited rates, it's still destroying the ecosystem out there. You don't have to clear cut. They can do helicopter logging like they do in other parts of that same valley. If you're choosing to go in and build roads, which is highly destructive, and clear cut, which is also very destructive to the local ecosystem, in order to destroy the ecosystem so that those non-timber values are compromised.
But you've already mentioned that they're doing this with the tacit approval of the provincial government, so clearly they're not breaking the law and doing what they're doing.
Well, they're also, but what the government is doing is that they're going against the promises of like 93 and 94, and what Andrew Taylor was promising us in terms of actually having a priority for non-timber issues within the Walbran. So what's at stake is that the company is going in with a gold rush mentality and taking what they can while they can before the Walbran is truly made into a special management area, and we can have some sustainable forestry up there. And we've had a peace camp up there since September, watching the loggers log, seeing what destruction is going on, and the individuals up there took it into their own hands to start doing some action. They didn't blockade the road to begin with, and this was a desperate action because of this latest logging that they started.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you very much, Catherine.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thanks.
Ian Hunter of Victoria is one of the organizers of the logging blockade in the Walbran Valley. Steve Lorimer is trying to get logging and road building restarted in the area. He's the land use forester with Timber West Forest Limited, and we've reached him in Crofton. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Catherine.
Well, you heard from Ian. This began as a peace camp, but these people could not stand by any longer and watch what your people were doing in the forest. How do you respond?
Well, we're a little bit perplexed, I guess, over the whole issue, the timing of it, the things that have been done to address issues since the Commission on Resources and Environment studies, the Vancouver Island Land Use Plan, the establishment of protected areas, and the establishment, of course, of the Forest Practices Code, which all goes a long ways towards meeting the types of concerns that Ian was talking about. We really don't understand why a protest is being launched at this point in time.
Is this, in fact, a special management area?
It is designated as one, yes.
Then why are you road building and clear cutting in it?
Well, in a special management area, the criteria is to give regard for some non-forest values, and we're certainly doing that. We're looking at special management for ungulates. We've considered special management for goshawks, for marbled murrelets, for fish, and establishing wildlife tree patches in the areas that we're harvesting, looking at alternative silviculture, that kind of thing.
Do you have to log in that area, knowing, as you do know, that this is a hot-button spot for people who are concerned about clear cutting in this province?
Well, it's part of the tree farm license, and we have obligations under the tree farm license to harvest. In fact, the obligations are that we need to harvest a minimum of 50% of the annual harvest rate on an annual basis as a minimum, and 90% over a 5-year average.
The protesters are worried, though, that you're logging in these areas faster than in other spots, and that you're actually harming the land and the wildlife, despite the fact that you are paying special attention to certain species of plants and animals.
Well, it's interesting that they have those kind of concerns because of the fact that we're blocked out of the area right now. There are some environmental concerns that we have with respect to the additional rainy weather and the partly built road, which is probably going to add to the environmental problems that they have expressed a concern for. In fact, the Ministry of Forest has inspected that area as recently as today, voicing the same kind of concerns.
Steve, were you around the last time that this valley was fought over?
I was.
How does the current situation compare to back then?
Well, this appears to be a bit smaller scale, not quite as large a build-up to it or anything. It just kind of happened over the last little while here.
But Ian's suggesting now that this protest is just the beginning, that the protest and the argument against logging there is going to continue in the cities.
Well, I can't speak for that. Certainly, we have put together a significant effort in trying to work diligently in this area to meet the concerns that the government has identified for the special management zones. We're working with both the Ministry of Forest and the Ministry of Environment to address those kinds of issues and meet the obligations that we have for the tree farm license. And the other thing that should be considered and pointed out is that there are 9 or 10 loggers right now that can't go to work on a daily basis. These gentlemen are trying to support their families, and they can't.
Now that you have a current injunction, what are you going to do?
We're making plans to go out and serve that injunction.
When?
As soon as we can practically do it, I assume.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Steve Lorimer is land use forester with Timber Rest Forest Limited in Crofton. What do you think on this issue about protests being back and some concern about logging in special management areas? Give us a call on Talkback at 604-662-6979 and let us know.
I'm gonna go wake up everyone and get some...
What time is it now?
It's like 4:30, 4:20. We're gonna be here in an hour and a half, something like that. So Ellis.
Hello.
Hello, Ellis.
One more time, please, Herman.
When you don't offer it to the creator and the mother, it doesn't sing the same song. You offer it, you mean it.
I'm sure that's not their concern.
Yeah, well, whatever their concern is, it's probably a good idea to get them out of there because the process server isn't here at the moment.
They're just having a traditional sweat.
What is a traditional sweat?
That is a traditional sweat.
Yeah.
You ask for the sickness to be lifted from upon these lands that the white man created by coming here and disrespecting the native land and the spirits and the animals that live here righteously and have been living here for thousands and thousands of years. So you go and you take your clothes off and you sweat. Put hot rocks and you pour water on to open up Mama's womb and let us feel her pain because we all carry her pain inside us. And you pray to the eagle, to the spirit that flies, that the Creator flies the highest. You pray for the eagle to come and pick that sickness up and carry it away. Only if you're ready to let go of what it is that's sickening you and making you not feel right and poisoning your mind. So you come in a sweat and you let go of that. You have the fire and the water come together.
I'm going to run down
Create
and
something.
check into camp to see if there's...
We're 90% water in our bodies. That water starts sweating and evaporating out into the universe, into the skies. Getting created. If you want,
Does anybody want to go down to
he
camp?
has
I
something
just
to
want
tell
see
you,
if-
he will.
make
If he
sure
doesn't,
Steve
then
Lorimer didn't decide to go.
there's different ways to sweat. Sweat for visions, for healing, sweat for power and inner growth and awareness for yourself.
Hey
I
Richard!
want to sweat today for this valley.
Hey Richard! Do you want to see the camp?
What goes on here.
We're going down to the camp now.
These
Do you want to
trees,
see it?
they're
Yeah, I just want to see if
carriers
Steve
of the
Lorimer
spirits and they have been for many, many thousands of years. All the spirits that have fallen in the past, if they're righteous spirits, the trees carry them on so the trees can tell us a story. They're messed up in the past, they become rocks and sand. So we can look upon them and say, yes, I have a choice to be a rock, or I have a choice to join up with the trees and be with my family up above the trees, breathing consciously and evolving. There's nothing, this logging, cutting food down, poverty going on in this road, I cannot stop a conscious thought from evolving, going to subconscious. Nothing can stop a human being from letting go and receiving purity and cleansiness from the Creator, God, whatever you want to call it. I see it as a pool of love. It's within us all. We have to open that. Because if we don't, I hate to say it, but many, many things are going to be happening here that none of us cannot possibly imagine, cannot comprehend how much destruction we're bringing upon ourselves. There's no one to blame here. We can point fingers likes to help everyone around the world. I come from Bosnia, I know. They come and help my country. They come and help the third world countries, and they're very righteous and very good country in the eyes of the world. But by me coming here, from what I've seen there and coming here and seeing the same thing happen within the country, and the way the government treats its own people, treating people in the streets, people who have to be in welfare and collect $500 a month. There's maybe 15, 20,000 people collecting $500 a month. How much money is that a month? That's millions and millions of dollars a month. In every year, we're talking billions of dollars. But yet we're not allowed to go and camp out in the woods. With them billions and billions of dollars that they're giving us, why don't they go here, have a beautiful piece of land? Don't be on the street bumming and selling pot and doing mushrooms. Get away from this Babylon bullshit that is real and it does stink. I smell it every day. People smoke pot to get away from that.
Up here. These the uprights to the is she right on the outside edge or is she in the middle?
Alexander, they want to come through with a grader. I can't get the bus started.
Can we move this mat? Yeah. Wind rode up on my pickup. Change the plan. our ability to
infringing
move
on the
that's right.
injunction, because
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
blocking our ability to safely conduct our
If
work.
they say the sweat lodge will be gone today or tomorrow morning, that's fine by us, but we certainly can't hold by it the way it is right now.
Yeah. Thank you, second. Okay, I understand that this is going to get moved.
I hope so.
Okay, I just want to explain that
We're gonna move the whole thing.
it's in the way, and they've said, yeah, no problem for today. But if it's there tomorrow, then some action's going to have to be taken. Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, see you now.
Good choice.
Okay, we'll probably be on short order, or at least I will be. We'll finish for today, so
Tomorrow when it's blockaded, that's fine.
we'll do that. Okay, thanks. See ya.
Anything to say, Stephen?
Nothing at this point.
Okay.
Coming through. You'll have to move your tripod.
Well, that wasn't my question. Which is very fair. You think she's listening? What was that?
But I'm planning on moving back to camp. After going to town, just cut up a meeting. Sergeant. He's a nice guy.
They're all nice guys. We're all nice guys.
We know that.
The only one I disagree with is that guy. He got a little attitude.
Well, everybody's entitled to express their opinion, right?
Expressing their opinion is venting his
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That means you must love us because you share your smokes.
Well, I love my wife and I love my kids. That's
We're
right
all
around the
brother
line.
and
Yeah.
sister here.
Yeah.
We're all family, really. We're all related. Somewhere down the line, we're all related.
Well, that's great. Then if you just tell our second cousin there or whatever that, you know, we're all following everybody's following the law as it is now. So I'd like to see it gone by the morning, so we can haul by here. It's
Yeah, we want to be known as we are protectors, not protesters.
fine and dandy. Then I assume then she'll be gone in the morning. Then. Okay, that's great.
I
Perfect.
hope so. So what do you guys got to do right now? What are you guys going to do?
Right now, just carry on with business.
So what do you guys have to do
Mind
though?
covering
You guys
that
have
tree?
like building the road, put rocks on.
Well, the court order says we can. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do what the court says we're allowed to do.
What are you
One
allowed
of
to
the
do?
concerns we had was when the Ministry of Forest came through and said,
Well, it was the Ministry of Forest that issued the license to log it, so I'm sure they've looked into it more than.
What the court order says, we're allowed to do anything related to our forestry business and related to the road building and or harvesting of timber within the tree farm license area here. So
for the next 2 weeks.
that's what we'll be doing.
And you guys have to stop after 2 weeks?
No, that's when it goes to court. That's when Steve has this day in court.
So when does your season end? When do you guys stop cutting?
When the snow flies.
When the snow comes.
That happens in Newfoundland. Does it happen here?
We get snow here too, yeah.
No, like Newfoundland.
It's been known to happen more than once.
Something's got to give.
What are we going to move?
We're going to move the camp, or are we going to move the sweat lodge?
Sweat lodge or camp? You have any opinion, Tree?
You should ask Alexandra.
Alexandra? What do you think, Alexandra? Want to stay, or should we move the camp just a little bit?
What's that?
I'm waiting here.
She said she's waiting. What are you waiting for, Alexandra?
I'm just waiting here.
She said she's just waiting here.
Good.
For what?
I think we can move the bus.
Well, it's good to see you guys. Yeah.
Do you think we could ask them to come out and...
I guess someone has to... there's 2 people in the sweat, I believe.
Sorry?
There's 2 people in the sweat.
Can we ask the people in the sweat to come out, please?
Now we'd like to have our process server give you one of these injunctions also.
I don't need one on the dot ever.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I can give you my cards and all that.
Okay, that would be a copy of that just for your information. If you're a journalist, you might want to see what it says.
That would be...
Such a very long time, but we never get weary, and I don't care what Babylon say, what they say we are, cause we're fighting for the Rastafari.
Including your friend there? Thank you. You've all been served with a copy of the injunction now. You know what that's about. We're asking again if we can go to work. Sure. Yes?
Sure.
I'm not out to get arrested, so.
We don't want to clog the court system up
Okay,
with any
thank
kind
you.
of mess.
But we do still have 2 people.
But there's 2 people in the sweat.
Well, we can drive around them. That's okay.
Yeah, let's move
You can go right through here if you want. And as we start cleaning up,
Sure, you leave me with the big ones.
any bigger machines coming through yet?
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't messed with your equipment.
Yep.
We don't mind it.
Just need to make room for the thing.
Yeah, we got
Bring the grader in later.
The process or the Queen's representative.
Courts are all in the money. And that's what the big part of the problem of the world is. Everybody's for money.
Well, my understanding is the court is for justice and justice set down by the society of the country.
Society's broken,
It's
man.
too bad that, like, we have to wait 2 weeks and the forest will be chopped down, and then we'll finally have justice served when they finally don't get their injunction. Hopefully.
Trying to figure out what are we doing as a nation? What are we doing as a nation? We say we're Canada and we're all like we're independent, yet we're still listening to a queen from England.
Oh, yeah.
They're all money people who've done that. They go to offices. There's no sense to talk to.
Yeah. So the fire's going. And reality being what it is, that thing's going to be in the way. Okay, well, this thing's going to be in the way. Logging trucks are going to be coming through here. Big.
Off the road. We'll have to move your fire
Same
too.
guy that was threatening us?
He wasn't threatening you, but I'll be here, okay?
No, you're threatening me. Her.
It's interpretation. I'll be here when he gets here, okay? Just so you don't have to, no concerns, but we're gonna have to use the grader to get the rocks and the fire off the road. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That way.
When's he coming?
Well, they've called him, so he's on his way. It'll probably be an hour for him to get here.
An hour? Okay, we can get this one. When the loggers get here, supposedly that's what's going to happen. So the fire is on now, and Ellis is keeping the sweat nice and comfortable by sleeping in it. So hope he's not too disturbed when we make him up and tell him our new plan. But, yeah.
Quite enjoyed the start myself.
flooding conditions for like just a long time. They never succeeded in actually winning. That's the guy.
What's happening here, Eagle?
Well, I guess we've retreated, and round one is complete.
But isn't there two people still in the sweat?
Yeah, they're still in the sweat, and I haven't heard a peep from them for hours. So hopefully they'll be finished before the grader comes through.
Corporal Thompson.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're probably looking at it.
So it's a nice day.
Isn't it, Bill?
Yeah. And this is so beautiful, eh? It's magic here.
I guess you want to meet with everybody as soon as possible. Right?
Yeah, I'd like to sit down with them and discuss what's going on and what the plans are and how everybody can effectively deal with it.
Acceptance and elections. They only meant for the people of the heart. Stand up for a mother of the pain.
Don't cover this up well.
Thanks and praises.
You cover this up a bit? It's kind of falling down here. Anyone?
It gets done in the
coming.
Huh?
Naked freaks in the bush.
What's that?
Naked freaks in the bush.
All hands on deck! What's that? Somewhere around here.
Location of when they came here, Drake? It's raining out there. It's raining. Where do we do? Where? Loggers. Oh, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day.
when I can give it all again. 'Cause babe, I'd do it all over you. I'm just standing at your gate, so I won't be late. Mama, I'm just sitting on the shelf. Look out your window then, I see you standing there, just mumbling and talking to myself. Well, after all my cigarettes have been smoked up, after all my liquor been drunk, after all my dreams have been dreamed of, after all my thoughts have been thunk. When you see me grab a pint, you'll know that I'm a giant. When you hear me yell at B505.
Oh, I did too.
Everyone's coming out.
Person, so just let me.
Morning.
Morning, morning.
How are you?
I'm great. Nice sunny day.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Somewhere. Okay. What's happening this morning is the forest company, as you're aware, has acquired an injunction from the Supreme Court. They, I understand, are on their way up here to serve that on you, serve a copy of that injunction on you. Basically, the Supreme Court is saying that you have to open up and let the forest companies go back to work. Right? That's the plan of what's happening here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hi guys. Morning. How you doing?
It's almost afternoon.
We were worried you weren't coming.
We're late today. Got the house finished painting. Hey, how you doing?
Money.
Well, where's the rest of us?
Morning.
How are we today?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. What's that?
Morning, Steve.
Good morning. Did ya? Hello, everybody.
Hey, man.
See a couple of, or at least one new face here this morning. Hi. I'm Steve Lorimer from Timber West. Just like to remind any of you who may have forgotten. And we're here this morning. I'd like to remind you also that we have a road permit and cutting permits to be in this area. And we therefore have a legal right to be here, to pass through this area, to go to work. Since you haven't been allowing that, we have been to the Supreme Court of British Columbia and obtained an injunction. And I'd like to read it to you. It's from the Supreme Court of British Columbia from yesterday, 3rd day of November, 1998. And upon hearing the application of the defendant Steve Pittner for an adjournment of the plaintiff's application, and upon the plaintiff undertaking by its counsel to abide by an order which the court may make as to damages, this court grants liberty to the plaintiff to amend the writ of summons by correcting the spelling of the name of the defendant Steve Pittner with 1 T to read Steve Pittner with 2 T's. This court further orders that the application of the plaintiff for an interlocutory injunction be, and it is hereby adjourned until 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November 17th, 1998. This court further orders that the defendants Steve Pittner, John Doe number 1, John Doe number 2, Jane Doe number 1, and Jane Doe number 2, and anyone else having knowledge of this order be and are hereby restrained and enjoined until 10 a.m. on the 18th day of November 1998, or until further order of the court, whichever shall be earlier, from A, physically preventing, impeding, restricting, or in any way physically interfering with or counseling with other persons to physically prevent, impede, restrict, or in any way physically interfere with the free passage of the plaintiff and its employees, contractors, agents, and equipment on the road known as the Glad Lake Main Road, or on any other roadway to which the plaintiff, its employees, contractors, agents, or equipment require access in order to carry out the plaintiff's forestry business and related activities pursuant to Tree Farm License Number 46, Road Permit RO 4476, and Cutting Permit CP 15A, issued to the plaintiff by the Ministry of Forests and any amendments thereto. And B, physically preventing, impeding, restricting, or in any way physically interfering with or counseling others to physically prevent, impede, restrict, or in any way physically interfere with the forestry business and related activities of the plaintiff, including the rights of the plaintiff under Tree Farm License Number 46, Road Permit Number RO 4476, and the Cutting Permit CP 15A, issued to the plaintiff by the Ministry of Forests and any amendments thereto. This court further orders that the defendants pay the plaintiff's costs on this application in that cause. This court further orders that any person affected by this order shall have liberty to apply to vary or set this order on 2 clear days' notice, except that no notice need be given by the plaintiff to vary this order to include enforcement provisions. This court further orders that the requirement for approval of the defendant, Steve Pittner, as in the form of this order, be and is hereby dispensed with. And take notice that if you, the persons affected by this order, neglect or fail to obey this order, you will be liable to process of execution and proceedings for attachment and contempt. This was heard before the Honorable Mr. Justice Henderson. So everybody has heard that. I have a process server with me, court process server, Terry, and he's going to serve you each with a copy of this injunction. Go ahead, Terry.
I'm serving you with a copy of the order that was just read to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a name that you can give me?
Tree. Tree.
I got you.